What is up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about XRP. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts, and I'll be giving you guys my price prediction for XRP over the coming days and weeks, as well as my targets for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you all here. So we're going to be diving straight into this video, and we're going to start off with the shorter term here on XRP. Of course, what we are seeing right now on the charts is the 1 hour, and over the past few days we've had this impressive performance here on XRP. We've gone from $2.10 essentially to a high there just a few hours ago of $2.65. But this small rally that we are seeing here on XRP has much larger consequences, and these consequences are very bullish for us holders on XRP. Of course, what I'm talking about is something to do with capital rotation. Of course, I'm going to take you to this poster that I used as my guide for the 2021 bull run. This is one of the most influential things that helped me understand the crypto market. And basically, what we are seeing is we're starting to see capital rotation. For the past few months, Bitcoin has basically been dominating the whole of crypto. We've seen most of the money flow into Bitcoin, and we know this because we've got this chart here, which is the Bitcoin dominance. And if we go on the 1 day here, this chart has been in a massive uptrend. This means that the Bitcoin dominance has just slowly been rising for the past few years. Of course, if we zoom into 2025, throughout the whole year, we've just seen Bitcoin get stronger and stronger. And recently, we've seen this break here where we're starting to see a bit of a decline. There's a lot of respectable figures in crypto saying that this 65% in Bitcoin dominance could potentially be the top. And a main reason for that is what we've seen here in Ethereum. The second biggest crypto pulled this massive move on us over the past few days, where it went from 1,800 to 2,600. Of course, outperforming Bitcoin in that same time frame and potentially kicking off the second phase of this chart, where Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin. Now, of course, we need a few more days to confirm it, but what I already see happening is we are already starting to see money flow into large caps. Let's go back onto XRP, because of course XRP is a large cap, and what we are seeing here on the charts, if I just zoom out a little bit, is at first glance, it just looks like we're chopping in this range here at roughly $1.50 to $3. But what I've also noticed is that here on XRP, we've started to see a breakout of this upper trend line. And of course, this resistance has been tested on multiple different occasions. The more a resistance gets tested, the more strong it is. And what we've seen is this resistance got tested 4 different times, and we are starting to see the price today break out of this upper resistance. We've also got a support here on XRP that looks a bit like this. Again, it's been tested on 3 different occasions pretty much perfectly as well. We can see 1, 2, 3. So we've got a strong support. We've got a strong resistance here on XRP. And we are starting to see a breakout today. And of course, the implication of this is we should get a price target here on XRP of the distance between the first test of support to the first test of resistance. This is a bullish chart pattern, so we expect the prices to go up from here. And of course, we would be looking at a price target here on XRP of $4.40. That's an immediate 80% upside from where the price is, from where we've broken out. Of course, if you are looking for a great place to buy or trade XRP, then look no further than the MEX exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading because they have some of the lowest fees. They don't require KYC, and for a very limited time, as you can see from the screen, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link in the description down below $20. So if you want to make use of this offer, sign up in that link in the description down below. It takes less than a minute to do so. Don't forget to deposit some fiat currency or crypto into your account, and they'll give you that $20 straight away. So you can, for example, just simply buy some XRP with it or trade any such breakout. Of course, thank you guys for your support. Back into this video. So this is the immediate shorter term price target that we could be seeing. We could be seeing this happen in a matter of days to weeks. Of course, this comes This aligns with the fact that we are seeing phase 2 starting to flow into phase 3. So this is some pretty exciting stuff for XRP. Of course, in the longer term, we have even better price targets to potentially look forward to. Of course, we can also treat this consolidation here on XRP as a bit of an unconventional bull flag type pattern. Of course, this could be construed as a very long-term bull flag here on XRP. And if that is the case, we do see a breakout to the upside of such a structure that we consider a bull flag. We instead would have this as our price target. So how we can interpret this is if the prices continue to rise here on XRP and we clearly break past the $4.40, then we could be looking at a much higher price target here on XRP of $9.61. And so from here, that is a 291% upside that we can potentially look forward to on XRP. And of course, I say this is a bit longer term because I do expect that to take a bit more time to get to these upper price targets here on XRP compared to this price target here at $4.40. Just a few more price targets to show you here on XRP. I need to find that other graph just to show you what I mean. Essentially, we need to get that price data back from 2016. There we go. So we've got this structure potentially playing out as well on XRP that I've been watching here in the longer term. This is some sort of longer term triangle here on XRP. And essentially, if we see this triangle play out in the longer term, we would expect the price target here on XRP to be the distance between the support and resistance, which is this distance here. We drag that to where we saw the breakout, which was that November 2024 pump that we saw in XRP. And we get a price target, an upper price target here of $19. So this, my friends, is my ambitious 2025 price target for XRP. The first one that I had for you was $9. So those are my two main price targets for the longer term here in XRP. Of course, to have the best possible chance of reaching those upper price targets, the two main things that you should watch for are these two indicators here on CoinMarketCap. Just to keep it simple, we've got the Fear and Greed Index, and essentially this measures the sentiment in the market. And essentially when the sentiment is very positive, so we see a value of above 80 here, that indicates that we are seeing extreme greed in the markets, and generally that's when we see market tops. And so we can confidently say that XRP will probably top around about the time we also see sentiment get to an extreme, so a value of above 80. At the moment we are at 73, so we're making our way there, but we're not quite there yet. And the other one is the altcoin season index. Now this is a lot further from the target. The target for this one is above 75. At the moment we are at 34, which means we're still seeing Bitcoin season, which means that Bitcoin on average is still outperforming altcoins. But like we discussed, we are starting to see that shift. Just a few weeks ago, this value was as low as 15. So we are starting to see progress towards an altcoin season. However, we need this value to rise to at least 75 for XRP to have the best possible chances of reaching those higher price targets. So those are my thoughts here for XRP. Of course, we are seeing some very bullish chart patterns. We've just seen a potential breakout with a price target of $4.40 in the shorter term. Of course, if the prices continue to drop out through the rest of the day, we are seeing a little bit of selling pressure because now we've seen the stock market in the USA open, and that's contributing to a bit of selling pressure here in crypto. If we see the prices on here drop below $2.45-ish, then it would technically invalidate this pattern. So watch out for that level if we continue to drop in the very shorter term and you're looking to trade this breakout. Otherwise, we are good to go and we should be seeing $4.40 as our next stop here on XRP. Of course, that's what I wanted to say in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do let me know down in the comments if you are holding any XRP. Let me know if you'd like to hear from any other cryptos from myself on this channel, if you'd like me to check out any of your cryptos that you're interested in. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.